been a really busy start to 2023. We have been shouting about our tips for 2023, and I'm really lucky to have gained a little bit of time in the calendar of the wonderful Lizzie Esau, who is one of our tips for 2023. Welcome, Lizzie. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So glad to be able to catch up with you because I just checked the uploader this morning and there is a brand new single from you there as well. So kicking off 2023 with a powerful message there.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have this one out. Yeah, it's a bit of an in your face kind of track. It's got a lot of like attitude and yeah, it's quite an angry song. In a good way. I think it's kind of angry at yourself. Um, it's kind of giving yourself a bit of a telling off sometimes is needed. Definitely about kind of people pleasing and telling yourself don't people please everyone, stand up for yourself. So you're mad at yourself but for a good reason. um yeah, I was definitely feeling quite angry when we recorded it, and you can probably hear it in my voice. I hope you can. I wanted that to come across. I definitely write about things that I'm feeling at the time, and at the time I was like, come on, stand up for yourself. So
But I was just looking through your uploader profile, thinking, we've had tunes from you since about 2021. Did lockdown and stuff really affect your kind of journey with music, or were you just kind of making stuff behind the scenes at that point and just, progressing?
I think it did affect it a bit, in a way where I'd never had time before. And I think everyone felt this, where I was just sat in the house for ages and I didn't have anywhere to go or anything to do. Luckily, that was my situation, and I wasn't ill or knew anyone who was really ill or had to work through it. Um, so it gave me this time that a lot of people realized, okay, I've got loads of time just to do things, um, indoor things, in the house things. And luckily, I could make a lot of music in that time. So yeah, I really took that time to work on Zoom with loads of people and um, write more than I have, collaborate more than I have before, which is thanks to, my manager, who was like, okay, we can't do anything about this situation we're in. You got to make the most of it. Because I just started doing some solo gigs before that, um, and writing more, and it really just started to, like, the live stuff just started to kind of not take off, but I just started to do more and more of it just in bars and open mics and gain the confidence. And then it was lockdown. So it was just after lockdown that we started doing like proper shows within the band. So yeah, it did affect it a bit, but I'm not sure in what way. But yeah. Mm.
I saw you playing at Neighborhood Festival in Manchester like a few months ago, and there was a like full on band set up. It was really intense and really like it really hit me how kind of powerful it was. So you've come quite a long way from kind of writing and being behind those kind of like solo gigs pre-lockdown then.
Yeah, the band are incredible. They're just the best. I mean, yeah, they're such professional, amazing musicians and creatives in their own right. We do the videos within the band and the cover art, and they're great writers. They all did music at uni, so they know all the technical things and names, and they're just really great. So and we rehearse a lot. They're just great musicians and players, and they really know like their craft, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah, it's really great to have people like that to work alongside, to be in a band with. Um, we share so many ideas together, and it's such a good dynamic. It really is. Um, so yeah, I think it's elevated it so much. It's completely different now. It's a different sound now. It's all of us combined. It's not a one person thing, which is really great. It's great to work like that. Yeah, and just to give them a shout out, it's Alex on the drums, Joe on the bass, Chippy on guitar. Shout out to them. They're great. Yeah.
It's almost like a really strong message for how important it is to kind of get to know other people on your local scene and how that can really help you break out of that local scene.
Hmm. Yeah, I think definitely. definitely just like chatting to other people, even if you just chat to other artists, just to find out how they're dealing with things and or feeling as well, and what they're doing to promote their music, or you know, get in contact with people. Everyone knows someone who can help you out, and everyone really wants to help each other out. I think that's something I learned quickly as soon as I started reaching out to people. Everyone really wants you to. It's a very nice community, I think, and I think that I know it goes on loads in Newcastle, but I'm sure in each city, wherever anyone is, there's always people in a local scene willing to help you out.
Looking back at your uploader profile and the uploads you've sent our way, you've been really consistent. Like, every 2 or 3 months we'd get a single ever since you uploaded Bitter Weather in like November 2021. Has this been like a definitive plan of action to kind of build profile?
Yeah, I think so. I think being consistent is like it is it is important to us. We're kind of it's really it's I mean, first of all, we're just really like making the tunes, playing them out live, and people kind of knowing them more and more. You know, the playlist support we've had, the radio support we've had, it's all just keeps it exciting. To be consistent, like makes it exciting for everyone involved in it, and also creates excitement for people who are like starting to become supporters. And yeah, it's like feeding into their excitement and ours, which makes the whole thing just kind of like snowball and like bubble up a little bit, which is it's good. That's what you want. I think by being consistent, hopefully we've done that. I don't think we're like necessarily like throwing songs out there. That's also quite important to us, that we don't just use them as like disposable marketing tools. It is still like they're still important like things in their own right. But I think we've got a good like schedule going of like every good few months, something new to talk about and yeah, promote.
Find your lyricism really, really relatable. Like looking back to, Bleak Sublime being about like a relationship with drinking and partying and the kind of highs and lows. Is it really important to you to be writing tunes that your kind of fan base can relate to?
I think definitely. I think that's like the most important thing for me, is that people can relate to it. At the same time as it being like quite therapeutic to be quite introspective about it all, I think it's also like important, and it's really nice for me when I can hear from people, oh, I related to this. Um, it creates that like connection, because I know it's really that's something I love more than anything, is like listening to a song and it explains exactly how I'm feeling at the time, and you feel like, oh, I'm not alone in that, or other people have felt like that. So if I can do that, or this music can like provide that for other people, then that's like the best thing ever, if I can do that.
And how have your fan base kind of like reacted to the last few songs that you've put out there?
Yeah, it's been so positive. Like any shows we've been doing, people have been coming up to us at the end, and particularly like The Enemy or Bleak Sublime, they're kind of saying like, oh, I really related to this, or I really like that one. Like this is kind of like I've been playing this a lot. Just like any really nice feedback, and I think people do relate to these songs maybe a bit more. I think The Enemy being kind of like following a story of someone struggling and then being okay, or like Bleak Sublime, which is kind of about like using alcohol or whatever to kind of feel like your better self. Um, I think definitely students, people my age, a lot of people have been through it and go through it on like small scales, bigger scales. But it's something I think people can relate to. Yeah, so I think they have picked up on it, which is good. I'm glad some people are liking it.
And the new single Jellyfish is about the inner hatred that comes from being a pushover and a people pleaser. What inspired this particular single then, Lizzie?
Yeah, like I was kind of saying before, just really mad at myself for like I don't even think it was anything specific, but I was just like, I think everyone gets to a point in life or has days where they just, well, I know I certainly do, where they just feel like, "Oh, everyone just walks all over me," or not everyone, but just feeling like you're a pushover, or you're just trying to people please everyone. And after a while it can get like exhausting. But if you're that type of person, there's not normally much you can do about it because that's who you are. But it was kind of just being like, actually, no, you don't have to be like that. Like, it was proper, like, kicking myself, being like, sign up for yourself. You're allowed to do that. You know, it's like, come on, try it. But the song really is quite, I guess, quite self-deprecating, but it's also like deep down, maybe some kind of self-care, being like, it's like tough love on yourself, if you know what I mean. It's like, I'm angry at myself. Come on, do better. Like, stand up for yourself. And then I'm shouting at myself, basically. And I think people will be able to relate to that. I think I've met. I think everyone has times where they're like, oh, I've let this person walk all over me, or that situation, I didn't say what I really wanted. So I think, yeah, hopefully people will
It
relate.
starts off really gently, but builds and builds and builds the intensity in this song. And then I kind of read that it was produced by Catherine Marks, and I was like, light bulb. Yeah. How was it working with Catherine Marks?
It was incredible. She's like a god to me, 100%. She's like the best. The best. I mean, everyone she's worked with, like, just all my favorite artists, I think. Um, yeah, so for her to kind of hear the demos we were working on at the time and be excited about them, and for us to obviously be so honored by that, and obviously love everything she's done, um, yeah, it was a huge compliment, and also just completely elevated the song. It just completely understood the vision of it. And yeah, we recorded it in a few live takes, maybe more than a few. But it was kind of done in a live take way. It really kept the energy of the song, and I was like overdubbing all the vocals and stuff, and I really wanted to capture the angry energy of the vocal. And yeah, it was kind of a bit of a time, we didn't have a lot of time, basically, to do it all in. So but I think we really worked with that, and like it kept the live energy of the song. And yeah, she was incredible to work with, as we expected. So yeah.
Maybe we'll hear some more from that kind of collaboration in future, possibly.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway from working with Catherine?
I think working within like certain amounts of time, and how you can still get a great energy, and yeah, working to that sort of like time limit, but keeping it really great was an incredible lesson to learn, because it saves on everything. And I think it was really helped by the fact that obviously the boys in the band are incredible and can just do great takes. So yeah, we learned so much, and just to like make sure that whatever you're doing, she was so excited about it, having so much fun, and obviously so were we. And it's just to make sure that everything you do is fun. The only reason to make music and to do any of it is because you like it and it's fun. Don't ever do it for any other reason, because there isn't one. Yeah. So I think I definitely learned that. It's just the kind of excitement and energy that was around it the whole time was just really inspiring. So we'll carry that on. Yeah.
And there's something else you've got in common with Catherine, right? In terms of education.
Yeah, yeah. So she did architecture, and I'm currently studying architecture at Newcastle, which is good. It's good. It's a background thing. I mean, it's a bit intense for a background thing, but yeah, I definitely prioritize the music, because I feel like opportunities don't come around twice in music. But yeah, it's a good thing to have in the background. I'll hopefully be finished very soon, which I'll be thankful for.
There is going to be some live shows, right? What can you tell us about those?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going on tour at the end of this month. We've got a little co-headline tour with Giorgio Hanlon, which is going to be great. It's going to be really fun. It's our first like co-headline tour we've ever done. We're lucky enough to do quite a lot of supports last year, which has really helped us. But I think it's going to be really cool to do our own thing. I think it starts in Sheffield on the 31st of this month, and then we've got Nottingham, Northampton, Newcastle, and Bristol in that order, kind of like every day after. Yeah, so please get a ticket if you haven't, everyone. Honestly, I'm so excited because we've got some amazing supports in each city as well, who are like local to the city. So that's going to really like help us. Yeah, come down, hear some new music. We've got loads of new songs to play as well. So there's definitely going to be some previews in there. too.
Are we rolling forward with more singles, or are we gonna hear something that's a little bit longer, maybe an EP or album in the works?
I think definitely an EP. I feel like I've been saying it for a long time. That oh, yeah, there's an EP coming at some point. There's definitely going to be an EP this year, 100%. But yeah, I think working up the singles. I think it's likely that singles will like be part of the EP, but we do have a lot of songs recorded ready, and a lot more demos ready. And as you'll hear at the live shows, yeah, there's loads of new stuff. So there's going to be more like bodies of work coming out. Yeah, which is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to putting out something a bit bigger.